He was more than a musician, he was a revolutionary, a voice that echoed across nations, a man who turned reggae into a global movement, and a soul whose message of unity still beats through generations. Bob Marley was born on February 6, 1945, in the rural village of 9 Mile, deep in the hills of St. Ann Parish, Jamaica. His birth name was Robert Nesta Marley. His father, Norval Marley, was a white British naval officer in his 60s. His mother, Cedella Booker, was a black Jamaican teenager just 18 years old. Being mixed race in colonial Jamaica meant Bob lived between two worlds, but belonged fully to neither. Norval was mostly absent from Bob's life, offering little more than a surname and financial support. Raised by his mother in poverty, young Bob faced discrimination from both black and white community mine, buzzing with sound systems, ska rhythms, and raw talent. This was the beginning of a legend. In Trenchtown, Robert Nesta Marley became more than a boy with a guitar. He became the voice of a movement. Out of the poverty and fire of Trenchtown came a sound the world had never heard before. In the early 1960s, Bob Marley joined forces with two childhood friends, Peter Tosh and Bunny Wailer, to form a group that would change music forever, in both music and mission. Rita Marley wasn't just his wife, she was a singer, a fellow Rasta, and a pillar of his legacy. Together they built a home, but it wasn't always traditional. Bob Marley fathered at least 11 acknowledged children with multiple women across his life. Some reports suggest even more. Yet through the turbulence, Rita stood by his side, raising their family and preserving his name after his death. Many of his children would go on to carry the torch. Ziggy Marley, a Grammy-winning artist and frontman of Ziggy Marley and the Melody Makers. Stephen Marley, known for his production and soulful reggae. Damian Jr. Gong Marley, who fused hip-hop with roots reggae to earn his own Grammy Awards. Kaimani Marley, who blended reggae with hip-hop and R&B. To Bob, family was everything even when his life pulled him in many directions. Through his children, his music didn't just survive, it evolved, adapted, and reached new generations. In the 1970s in Jamaica, enemies, literally. In 1978, at the One Love Peace concert, he pulled Manley and Sega on stage, forcing them to shake hands in front of thousands. His music became protest, bold and fearless. Get up, stand up was a rallying cry for resistance. War was lifted directly from a Haile Selassie speech, condemning racism and injustice. And Zimbabwe became an anthem for African liberation. Bob Marley didn't run from politics. He faced it, with rhythm, with rebellion, and with purpose. Fame never changed Bob Marley. At heart, he remained simple, humble, grounded, and deeply spiritual. He lived by Rasta principles, clean eating, conscious living, and connection to nature. He loved playing football, sometimes more than music. Whether in Kingston, backyards, or hotel courtyards abroad, Bob always had a ball at his feet. He followed an idle diet, plant-based, natural, and pure, and he embraced herb, not for escape, but as a sacred tool of meditation. Fame never changed Bob Marley. At heart, he remained simple, humble, grounded, and deeply spiritual. He lived by Rasta principles, clean eating, conscious living, and connection to nature. He loved playing football, sometimes more than music. Whether in Kingston backyards or hotel courtyards abroad, Bob always had a ball at his feet. He followed an Ital diet, plant-based, natural, and pure, and he embraced herb, not for escape, but as a sacred tool of meditation. But in 1977, during a football game, Bob injured his toe. What seemed like a simple injury turned out to be melanoma, an aggressive form of skin cancer. Doctors recommended amputation, but Bob, guided by his Rastafarian beliefs, refused. The cancer spread, first to his lungs, then his brain. In his final years, Bob kept performing, kept inspiring, until his body could no longer keep up with his spirit. On May 11, 1981, Bob Marley passed away in Miami, Florida. The world didn't just lose a musician that day. It lost a prophet, a revolutionary, a son of Jamaica. He was just 36 years old. Death did not silence Bob Marley. If anything, it amplified him. More than 4 decades after, it continues to inspire freedom movements, anti-racism protests, and calls for peace from Kingston to Cape Town to California. Bob Marley didn't just sing about change, he became the sound of it. His legacy isn't just remembered, it's lived. Though Bob Marley never lived to enjoy the full fruits of his labor, his estate has become one of the most valuable in music history. Today, his posthumous net worth is estimated between $130 to $150 million and growing. He's consistently ranked on Forbes' top-earning dead celebrities, alongside icons like Michael Jackson